How's it? Welcome. Metro Customs. We've got a something today. What we're going to have to sew on some tinsels to these woofers. I've got 2 of them to do. So yeah, got our sewing kit. How's it, Mr. Noe? How's things there in the Lenasia? Yeah, it goes in. So all we needed to do was for it to go in. I think we'll do black. But we'll have to use some. Okay, so yeah, no, bruh. Do some pink as well. Give it some color. It makes it easier to see. I'm not 100% sure if this thing can actually hold all of these things. We're gonna check now. No, that's the other stuff. I might have to use a bigger needle. I'm busy with the XTCs, man. I gotta do some sewing of the XTCs, but I think I'm gonna need a bigger needle. I don't think this needle's gonna be big enough. I don't know if these needles are gonna be. If this needle's gonna be big enough to take in. There we go. This one is a bit too big though. Yeah, that's too big. Okay, I'm gonna have to now use what I got, because there's nothing else that I can do other than use what I have. Because the needles that I got here are all bloody well tiny, man. And I don't know if the other one that I actually have would work on this. Let me just see if I can't find him. I normally had a needle that I used to heat up to make holes that used to be thick. Let's see if I can find it, because I've been using something else to make hikes for me, because I kind of misplaced that needle. That thing is so skinny also, man. Now it's hard to... No, I got the unpicker. Okay, that's one. It's not in there. Well, we've not even attempted to do this, so let's first attempt to do it and see how far we get before we start complaining and saying that things are not working. Let me just have a look see here. That's the small ones. Sorry guys, I'll be with you now in a moment. Yeah, see, there's not a problem. The damn needle part of it broke off. So I got the needle, but the part where the eye is basically gone. That don't help me much. That don't help me for nothing. So let us see. Maybe we can get these all in here. Maybe we can get them all in.
Ma'am? Why didn't you keep it on?
Okay, it is nice and down. Let's put in the blue one. Because you got two funky colors, it's nice and we don't have to worry with the third one. Yes, Mr. Cats. We're sewing on the tinsel wire to the spider. Right. But I like to add a couple of colors to it. Makes it a little bit easier to go in. Ah, there we go. Now the problem is the one that's already in there is not playing game, man. Keeps knocking the other one out. Okay. Yeah, I think that should be thick enough. But I will feel a lot better if we can put the black one in as well. So let's put the black one also in. If we got a triple, yeah, nah, bruh. You know we gotta do what we gotta do. When I was growing up, my mom was like, hey man, you know, I don't know if there's gonna be a girl out there that's gonna want you. So just in case, see now these two are making cock now. Yeah, check you then. That two is making shit, they keep sliding down and blocking it from going in. Now it's cotton, my guy. We're putting in tinsel wire. We're sewing in tinsel wire here. So you're gonna be there, and I think we'll start here. I think maybe we should do it on the outside instead of on the inside. before we start there, we need to tie this guy. So they are all equal. There we go. Nice fat knot at the end. And then once we got the first guy in, we'll be able to set the rest up then. Nope, not there. We've got to go in here. There we go. Our says, welcome, welcome. M.A.D Customs speaker repairs. Today we are going to be stitching in some tinsel wire for our good friend Mr. T's and his woofer. So that we can at least get some nice it's a little bit on the tough side because this damn thing is not the right size needle that I'm using. It's a slightly smaller needle than what I usually use to do the stitching. I will be gluing it down also just to make sure that it doesn't come loose. I think 3 stitches around the first one should be enough. And then we're going to end it off there. And then how Idala is at the end here, Mama always said you gotta loop the loop, you know. So basically you're looping and then you're looping again. That creates a little bit of a knot also, and then you loop again, and then you trek on fast, and then we are done with one. We can snippity snip there, and then we can put some glue on it so that it doesn't come loose. Okay. Azay. Okay. How's it, man, guys? Just doing some sewing today on these woofers. Eh, yeah, that's normal Gencom news. Wire is here, not here by me, but at the supplier. They had it one side. I've just not had the opportunity yet to go and pick it up. I've had to stay at home to wait for the Wi-Fi guy to come and sort out the Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi somehow decided to die, so I couldn't go pick it up today. Tomorrow's Friday, which is a very short day because of mosque and that. So, and they close at 12 o'clock, so I'm not going to be able to make it to pick the wire up tomorrow. So I'll get it on Monday, and then Monday night we can get back to our coiling ways. Oh man, it almost went through my damn finger. That's one, that's two, that's three. Okay, and put some glue on there. Okay, I'll show you now, man. I just want to get done with this yet, then I'll show you. I'm almost done. It's the last one to sew on the side. And I'll show you what it looks like. The problem is the old tinsel wire. Why I won't be removing that. No, the spiders will go in first. On your woofers, Dion. The spider will go in first. The glue that I need for that one, I got some today to glue the spiders together. That's the glue I'll be using for the spiders to glue them together. It's better if the coil isn't there, because then the spiders go over the form and things like that. It makes it a lot easier. The thing is, with the way this is already done, the tinsel wires that's already here on the spider, the problem with that is if you cut those wires out there, then you weaken the spider at the joints where that is. No, that's why it's gonna have to come out. I'm gonna have to cut this out here. Okay, so where's my cutter? It needs to come out anyways, because they went and did some funny things here. Okay, So yeah, on Monday I should have all of the wire, and then I can get busy with all of the all of the coils that's here, subs that's here. Go, and that's off, and then okay. So that's basic. Okay, wait, let me rather show you guys this way. No, Mr. Cats, all the coil wires are not the same. So I've stitched it basically on there. This one here, as best as I can, I will move it out of the way. But what happens is, if you remove these, there's holes there, and that becomes a weak spot on the spider, because the way they stitched it is a lot thicker and way more. So now I've stitched these here on here, and the coil will join up on that point there. Then we'll push that down and glue it to the spider and to the cone. So that should be lacquer there. So that's what that looks like. And then at the bottom we've got the glue that's over that, so that once that dries out, these here won't come out, and then we won't have an issue where we've got we won't have an issue where we have the wires coming loose because of the string on there. So this here is going to come out to there. Yeah, I'm happy there with it. That's one coil, one stitch done. And we can do another stitch on this side. Okay, so now how's it, man's fritter? Damn thing on my neck. Okay, so now we need more string. And the thing is with this shit is, you can't make it too long, because then you'll be pulling and pulling and pulling, and what happens is, as you pull too long, I recoil the one, Mr. Cats. The one is done. When I finished this one here, I found out that the damn wire was done. So this one here doesn't have a coil at the moment. I need to go pick up the wire, and the wire is all the way in Josie, so it's a bit of a drive to go and get it, and the distance to where it is, where I have to pick it up to it's gonna be a bit of a drive, and then time wise I don't have enough time. School run, mosque, and it's a Friday, so there's like very little time in that on a Friday. It's too much, I think. Yeah, that should be good enough. Yeah, so for this one here, I think 2 strings is the max that I can put in here, because I tried to put a third one in, and the 2 keeps moving down and blocking him from going in. The recoil was done not yesterday, day before yesterday. No, all take different spiders, quality spiders. Look, they may look the same, but the grade is not the same, eh? The grade is not the same. Like I was explaining, when these factories build the speakers, they build it according to a specific spec. So that's why when you look at, like, say, the Star Sound, when you look at the Star Sound Apocalypse and the Venom, the baskets are the same, the size of the magnet looks the same, the spiders look the same, the cone, everything looks the same, but they're not the same. Even the coil, when you take the coil out, the coil looks the same, you know. Wire size the same, height of the coil the same, thickness of the wire on the coil same, but the magnet is different, and the grade and the quality of the spiders are different, as well as the tinsel wire. On tinsel wires you get a 12 strand, a 24 strand, a 32 strand, which is what this is. Oh, actually no, this is the 24 strand, and then you get the, let me show you, this is the 32 strand. I don't know if you can see the difference. This is the 12 strand, 24 strand, and this is the 32 strand, and then you get a 48 strand as well. All of that plays a big role in what the woofer can do. You know, like they'll say, nah, this one and that one is basically the same, the RMS is roughly around the same, but it's not the same, because the charge rate on the magnets, look, until you've actually had the meter on the speaker itself, and if you take the speaker and put it on a DATS to get the specs of that, and then use a gauge meter to get the specs on the magnets, you can't say this speaker and that speaker is the same, even though to the eyes everything may look identical, but it can't be identical, because then that would be copyright infringement. Because then who did it first? Was it that guys who did it first and these guys copied them, or they will say no, we sent our stuff in earlier, before it becomes shitty. So there has to be some variation of something, and most of the time you'll find the tinsel wires are not the same. Like between the 24 and the 32, visually you can't really check, and between the 12 and the 24, there you can pick up, because the 12s are usually used for all of the 6x9s and stuff like that. Meter for magnets is gauge meter. That just measures how strong the magnet is. It's not a meter to charge the magnets or anything. Sam, 12-inch is 650, my guy. What the hell did I do? Oh. That was almost disastrous. Yeah, now the fun comes. I'm gonna pull it on the one side. Okay, let's just try and get all of them to the same level. I'm in Boksburg, North Eastern, my guy. Joburg. Gauteng. And then these two need to come down as well. Yeah, we're sewing today, my guy. I think I made the blue a little bit too long, but it's fine. We'll rectify him now. Yeah, and then that's also, brand prestige. I mean, you'll find that people feel more, won't mind paying like 7 grand for a woofer, which is basically like a 1.5 or 2 grand more than the other sub. And then you'll be like, yeah, but it's the same. It's like, yeah, but I like that brand, you know. Yeah, Mr. Sam, I know, man. Limpopo is a problem, because the thing is, there's so many subs that's there. But look, what if you're sending a whole consignment of woofers, we can talk price, but at the same time, it's gonna cost because of courier, or unless you're driving from Limpopo this side. But then again, if it's a whole consignment of speakers, then it's worth it, because you drop it all off, and then once all of it is done, then you just come back and pick everything up. Plus, you can always charge the Owens a little bit of a fee, if you're bringing up all of their woofers. So yeah, you can either WhatsApp me. Where's this one now? My WhatsApp is also on my bio. You can get me on the WhatsApp also. Sharp, my brother. As long as you got, if you got all that on lockdown, then you're in the game then. Oh. Okay. That's what I was telling the guys. The live will be boring with this, because yeah, so on the 8th of November, the old crew is basically meeting at the Brakpan rugby field. Like all of the old guys, the old guard. And they're like, yeah, why don't we make it like a reunion of all the old guys? So I was catching on Kak by the car today to see if I can maybe just build a setup or something. Yeah, most of the time, bruh, you do a hell of a good numbers and things, and people will say, yeah, the subs. Then it's not even the subs, it's just the box and the way you've set everything, the settings on alles. Sometimes that's all it is. This one is a bit overdone now. Don't go there now, you're gonna tear. I forgot I need to finish it off with a loop-de-loop. Okay. Once I'm done with the repairs, I either test it on my home setup here. It's a power supply with a 600 RMS amplifier. Other Jeffrey. And then I've got the boxes for the woofers. They both sealed. Okay, sealed 15, and it's a sealed box, but I've ported it with a 4-inch port. But the spec of the box is for a sealed box, for a single 12. So, and then I've got a template that fits over the 12, where I usually used to test the 10s. But then I've got a 10-inch box now, a box that I've built for a single 10-inch that I test the 10s in for all of that. So yeah, what I then do is I play normal music in it, low frequency, to make sure that the woofers are moving. And if all else fails and the woofer doesn't look like it's getting anything from here, then I put it in my car and add a little bit of extra glue, and extra bass in there, because in the car I've got a little bit more power, battery power, so the amplifiers work a little bit better there. Alright, at the moment I've only got like an amplifier that does about 1000 RMS at 1 ohm, so that's questionable also, you know. I think on 8th of November maybe I'll put the car in the lane and just clamp it as well, so I can see what power the amplifier is doing, and run it at 1 ohm as well. I'll put the 212s in the car to check that and see from there what's the story. Okay, we are almost there. Oh, I was gonna go again with a single 10, but I'm like, you know what, I wanna run the car, so let's put the 212s in there and then we'll run it. I was actually gonna come with a box specifically built for port wars and do a port score, but I don't have the amplifier yet, man. I need a nice amplifier. I can burp the hell out of the 8-inch. Not wires, the tinsel wire. I don't do this for all the subs. I'm doing this specifically because this bra here, when I was doing his subs, my following went over 5,000, and at that day I had over 5,000 views on the live when I was doing the speakers, and I had over 190 followers from that live. So if I have to do this for a customer, you're getting charged for this. This kind of work is not mahala. Because you need good eyesight to get the stuff in there first to begin with, and then you need the know-how on how to sew this thing together. So if I gotta do this for somebody and they request it, I can dollar for you, but you're gonna pay for it, bruh. As it have, I don't build boxes, guy. So spiders do come with tinsel wire cats, but then that's what happens with the tinsel wire. They tend to burn, and when they do burn, you need to replace them. And you can keep them loose, but what happens, I've come to notice, is that if they loose, a lot of times they hit on the cone and then they damage the cone. So, well, not all spiders come with tinsel wire. Some replacement spiders, when you buy them, they don't come with tinsel wires. Okay, so that's down there, that's down there. Okay, now we can go this side. I think this is gonna do just one more and then it'll go off. Ah, you idiot. I didn't knot it. Hey, I hear someone. Yeah, SS Audio, you can get them to design a box for your woofers, and then they'll send you the cutting list. You take the cutting list to builders or wherever you're buying your wood from, and they cut it to size, and then you just basically screw or nail and glue everything together. Or you can go to a shop and get them to build you a box. And like Dion is saying, how's it Kelvin? I'm in Boxburg North, my guy, in the East End. Anything from 4 grand to 6 grand, even more sometimes, depending on what you want the box to do. Just a bit of friendly advice, don't go tell them you want to do SPL and music, because those two things don't go together.
Luister, baie van dat net weet. Want jy gaan skool. So jy sal gaan slaap.
Absolutely terrible timing for you to get back home and not get it done.
Yeah, well, that's your problem. Listen, must I leave the geyser on so you can
Just a
shower?
little bit, yeah. I think when you come out, you can put it off.
I just want to cut it as I am there a little bit.
You are not cutting your doll's hair.
No.
What are the chances you can finish that
I love you, Mama.
You I'm not cutting your doll's hair.
No, I love you.
I know you laugh at me. That's not changing this conversation at all.
Cats, it's not the ohmage of the speaker that's the thing. It's the size of the speaker.
In the bathroom, eh?
The smaller speakers at the moment I'm not doing repairs on because I'm having issues opening them up without damaging the surrounds. So I'd rather not do those repairs. I stay with the subwoofers. The smallest woofer that I am comfortable in working with is 8 ohm, the 8-inch woofers. I do know that there are 6-inch woofers that are woofers, and those I'll work on as well, because the material that the subs are made from is stronger than the mid-range and stuff like that. So it's not so hectic when you working with that. The problem is the quality of the surrounds on your mid-range speakers are very they're like foam, made from foam. A lot of them, not all of them are made from foam, but a lot of them are made from foam, and once you put a lot of heat on that thing there, my heat can't say hello, and then there's an issue. Now I gotta replace the thing, and then that now becomes another bloody nightmare, because now you need to go look for that size, and then I'm driving around trying to match it so that now the one's looking weird and the other one is not the same, so now you got to replace both. So it can become problematic, which is why I opted not to do them anymore. Where did you fall now?
What you doing?
Huh?
What's that down?
My needle.
The needle.
Yeah.
It's somewhere there. It's somewhere there.
Yeah, I know it's somewhere here. Thank you very much for pointing out the obvious.
I don't see it. That's too small.
Yeah, you don't see it, you're too small.
Yeah. Mommy gave me some bread.
She gave you some bread.
Yeah.
Did you eat it?
Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah.
Good.
Which toys you got to put it in the bag? Huh? Which toys you got to in the bag? Mama, can I?
So,
Where's Mama now? I don't see her.
I
Mom,
need
I need something.
yeah, this round here will finish up this set of this one woofer. Then I got another one of this. The 15 though has a different type of spider. The 15 has got this type of spider. If you can see that, he's got two of these spiders. Now I'm going to add another spider on the 15 to make it a bit stronger, but I can't add another spider on the top, so I gotta add spiders from the bottom. And the issue is with these spiders, once you make a hole in them, they tend to, that hole ends up extending and it rips. So coiling I'll be doing on Monday, Mr. Katz. The videos of the coiling that I did on this roof, on this one here, is on my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. You can check there. Don't forget to like and subscribe when you buy. Alright, now where you now? Alright, man. After Brazil first. Yeah, but you see, it's towards the end of the year now. End of the year it gets quiet because awards get big money, and then with the big money they use the money to go buy new subs. As it shows, alaikum salam. Can't complain, my brother. Where you now? Oh shit, okay. No. Yeah, end of the year it's not really much work, bruh. Because Owens are buying new subs. It's through the year. Well, sometimes you do get hella busy because Owens are like, you know what? I've had that set of woofers laying here for 3-4 months. After they pay school fees money one side and uniform money and textbooks and stationery, whatever's left, and you're like, ah shit, man, ain't luck. Alright, the flu is getting me now. Ain't like I don't have enough money to buy new subs, but I got just enough to fix these ones. So let me fix these ones, and then that's how you get the Raptor. You see that batch of clothes there that I'm cutting up for Lapis? He's under that fucking batch there. I don't want to know nothing about the Raptor. It was, I had to either buy a new amp, send all of the amps in for repairs, and then something just hit me and like, yo man, instead of spending money and repairing all of the amplifiers that you've got that you fucked up, why not take that money, add a little bobs to it, and
Ask everyone if they want to toilet.
maybe instead of fixing the amplifiers, because there's 3 amps, it's 4 amps. There's 4 channels, 1 2 channel, and the Raptor. How's it serves? 15-inch starts on DVC. Depends on which one it is, bruh, and money wise, because brand new, what do they cost? What's the sub worth brand new? That's the thing you gotta ask yourself. 15-inch, you're looking at $850 to repair. Hey, the glue is hitting me fucked up. I forgot this fucking mustard glue. I don't like this mustard glue. It's fucking strong, man. The tomato sauce one never used to make me cough like this. But then again, the tomato sauce one wasn't as strong as this one is, so pros and cons, I guess. Yeah, well, if you paid $2K for one in 2008, and if you don't mind paying, what's it, 3.5? Hey, bro, glue is hitting me hectic here. That's why I'm always smiling, bruh. People think I'm happy. It's not happy, boss. I'm high. It depends, because nowadays 15s are selling, decent 15s are selling for 3.5. So you're looking at 7 grand. Or 7 grand or 1.5 to fix the 2 subs. No, you got a tomato sauce one. That's one they sent me to say, this glue company I'm getting my glue from said I should try this glue and see how it works. If it's good, then they can supply me with this glue rather than the other one. So I said, nah, man. But I think I'm gonna go back to the tomato sauce one. It's not like that one was weak or anything. This glue is hella strong. Hella strong. Because there's some stuff that I glued with this for Baba. And I used the tomato sauce glue on those things. Nothing happened. But when I tried to open it, it opened up easy. This fucking mustard sauce one. Hey, bro, you battle to open the thing. You sitting there with that heat gun for long. Nah, the mask don't fucking work, bro. After COVID, I got phobias of masks now. Yeah, same temperature, but just for some reason, the smell on this fucking thing is just way worse. It still handles. I think this one here is 20 degrees more, if I'm not mistaken. 20 to 30 degrees more. But you're doing spiders and surrounds, so the temperature doesn't really matter as long as the fucking thing bonds. I don't have that glue anymore. It's the glue I use for my tomato sauce that I used to use in a tomato sauce bottle. XTC XTB. Is it a 12-inch or a 15-inch, my guy? Now that's a woofer and a half, that. Yeah, and the Milky Bar. The Milky Bar is for the coil glue. That's a completely different story there. Guys, please understand, I talk a lot of shit when it comes to the glue products, because those are things that I had to work and slave and really battle to get, because nobody wanted to sell me the stuff, the actual stuff, the correct stuff. So I battled very hard to get what I got now. There was a lot of phone calls made, a lot of driving done. more phone calls, more research, internet. I did a lot of that, my bro. So I'm a little bit funny when it comes to giving out all of those information, which is why I use tomato sauce bottles and all different type of containers. Don't look at a container you see here and think that's the glue I'm using. It's not. 9 out of 10 times it's a different glue altogether. I'm just fucking with everyone's brains because they look at the stuff here and they're like, hey, check there. Maybe you'll see. Don't be lazy. We all have to pay school fees somehow, somewhere. I take it as I show you guys all of the things that I do and how I do it. The least you can do is pay school fees by at least doing some research to find something. You know what I mean? Only fair. Here we go. Missed the puzzle piece. XTB 12 inch will be $650, my guy. It takes about 5 to 7 days to dollar. I'm in Joburg, Boksburg, in the East Rand. WhatsApp number is on my bio. If you want to see the work I do, you can check out. All my lives are on my YouTube channel. When I'm done with the live, I go on YouTube and I upload this whole live onto YouTube. So if ever you want to see what your woofers look like when it was opened and what it looked like when it was worked on and when it was done, you can always go to YouTube to go and have a look at that. Or if you want a reference or want to know what my work looks like and charge, you can buy and charge there. People lie, the work don't. The white car is gonna be done. Well, I started it, took it around the block, but it's still leaking that oil, so I got a bra that's here in Boksburg. I just have not gotten to phone him yet, but he's a sound boss, sound guy. Been to me a couple of times. I haven't done work any of his on his vehicles or anything, but I have done some work with him, sound related. So I only seen the other day that he's also doing car repairs and stuff. So I want to change the oil. Like I said, it was a hard choice to make. I had to decide, am I fixing the 4 channels? Am I fixing the 4 channels and the monoblock, or are we biting the bullet and we're buying stock? We're buying cones and dust caps and what. So I decided to rather do the buying of the cones and everything. Currently I have sound in the car. It's not excessive, but it is in the car. It plays decent enough. It's okay for me to drive around. I enjoy my music that I'm listening to. Thankfully enough, it's loud enough in the vehicle that when I park next to a car that's playing music, I don't really hear his music. You can hear there's something there, so when you turn yours down, you can hear his banging also. Mainly because I'm in the Boksburg area and there's not many cars here that are excessively loud. I'm talking about 150 plus loud, you know, because the 140s, yeah, when we listen to it, sounds and the themes, the music you listen to, and application, all that. Too many stories. So basically, I looked at that and I'm like, you know what I have right now, it's okay. How about forget about the white car? We're still using the blue car. Drive the blue car. It's not like it's gonna break anytime, you know. Like I said, Alhamdulillah, we've been helped a lot with that car. She's really helped us out a lot by being the way that she is. I make shukr for that every day. Say Alhamdulillah, that car is taking us up and down. But the white car is gonna need some dollars. So instead of buying oil and oil canister and what, take all the money, put it towards parts, buy the parts. I went through. Buy the parts, get the parts here, and then inshallah, if I do well with the parts, then yeah, we can. If I do well with the parts, then the parts will pay for all of the stuff on the white car. So, and the amps and all the things there also. So I was looking at it in that sense, which is why half of the stuff that I was supposed to do hasn't been done, because the money that was used to go there has now gone elsewhere, to Thailand for the parts for the car. So that's where I went. So for now, white car is just standing there. He's waiting for material because I still need to do the material, the roof lining. I took the roof down, the roof lining down, so it's just hanging in the car there now. I need to seal off some of the corner pieces, but then wife and I was sitting and having a conversation, and I'm like, you know what, seeing as the white car has been giving us so much issues, I think maybe to a certain extent, maybe we should keep that car family orientated and not put anything excessive in that car, and basically use the blue car for the sound car and the business. So we may be going that route, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so that's also stitched and done. So that's done there, that's done there. Tinsels are on. This side here, the tinsels burnt a little bit worse than this side here, but it's done anyways, completed. So yeah, that's the one woofer done. Well, you can now bloom. Off. This one is gone already. Then we have to find another connector there. There. Yeah, it is very time consuming. Look, the easy option, the easy way would be you put us over here, take the glue and just put glue on it and you're done. But like I said, mm, Taga CBR12. Okay, here's the problem with making things. Okay, let me explain to you how speakers are made strong. Let me put it that way. When they make a speaker, ah, you get the magnet. Okay, let me do it this way. Right, you get the magnet. The magnet is charged to a specific strength. So the magnet has magnetic force, right? Then the basket is done, put onto the magnet. Then there's a gap here. That's the coil gap. Now, the coil gap, depending on the size of the coil, which is coil, right? Now, this coil, the size of the wire of this coil that goes in this gap, that size needs to be a specific size and a specific height to give you the ohmage that your woofer has. Now you've got the CBR 12 inch, it's dual 2. That woofer has aluminium wire. And if I'm not mistaken, it is 4-layer aluminium. Now, the gap that is here, if you replace that coil with, let's say, an 8-layer coil, that's more wire onto your coil. Now, more wire onto the coil means you can add more power into it, because the current from your amplifier that goes into your coil through your tinsel wires, that current has to then go around all of that windings. And if there's 4 extra layers of winding, that means it needs more power to go through all of the windings. So which means you can increase the power of the coil into the windings, because your coil windings, the height of the coil and the thickness of the wire will determine how much power can be put into the speaker. You understand? Right, so now you've got the coil, you've got the CBR D2, which means that woofer most likely has a 4-inch coil. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 4-inch aluminium coil. The tensor wires on that subwoofer is good enough. The spider pack on that woofer is also good, because that's another thing you got to think about now. The spiders needs to be upgraded. So if we were to make that speaker stronger, we will need to measure from here, the top piece here, all the way to the bottom, to see how much longer the coil can be, if the coil can be made longer. If it cannot be made longer, then what your next option would be is to find a way to increase the height of the basket. So you'll put spacers in between the top plate, your magnet, and your basket. So let me put it to you this way. Whenever I'm going to say, for instance, the magnet, right? Right, your speaker's done. Your speaker's complete. So we're going to try and make that speaker stronger. So whenever I say something that we need to add, I want you to keep in mind, when the moment I say we need to increase or add or make bigger or put more. When I use those words, I want you in your mind, I want you to picture money leaving your wallet, your bank. Okay? Right. So there's no space here, so you need to increase the height of the basket. When you increase the height of the basket using spaces, right, then the height goes up of the basket and the height here increases. You'll need to then get something made. You need to add something here to increase this point up to, so that you see this little bit of a lip here. That's the size of the lip that needs to be on the top here. So you're going to increase this a little bit higher in order for the coil to then go, because now you're increasing the basket height. What's going to happen is, because you've increased the basket height, the coil let me just see how this coil is sitting, where the spider sits. This coil is sitting half out and half in. So half of the in is halfway into your magnet. If you're going to increase the height of the basket, remember your spider sits on the landing, on this landing here. So if the basket goes higher, because this whole thing has been assembled already, this is going to go lower, which means there's very little bit, or if any, of the coil gonna be inside of your magnetic field. That causes a problem, because how's the speaker gonna play if half the coil is sitting outside already? Which means you're gonna have to increase the height of the coil, which is what we're getting at. So we're gonna replace the coil, remove that whole coil, and we're gonna put in a longer coil. But we can't put in a longer coil as it stands right now, because as it stands right now, with the suspension that you have, suspension is your spider and your surround, okay? With that you have, you've got a specific millimeter of travel. So the speaker won't go any lower or any higher. If it does go lower, like for instance your spiders get damaged and it goes more in, it'll bottom out at the bottom of your magnet, and that's when you get damages like how Mr. Dion's 12s was damaged. But if the spider, if you've raised the suspension and you've made the coil longer, right, making the coil longer then gives you the ability to add more wire onto it, thus making the speaker capable of getting more power into it. But the problem there comes in that this magnet has been charged to a specific magnetizing point for I'm trying to not be too technical, all right? Your Taga streets, my guy. The one was damaged, remember? Okay, so the magnet is charged to a specific magnetic point, right? If you keep this the same, if the charge of this looks exactly the same and stays the same, increasing the height of this and increasing the coil does not necessarily mean that you are going to be getting more power into the amplifier, into the woofer. All it means is that your speaker is capable of getting more. If I want to, in terms of putting it to you in car terminology, if you put nitrous into a 1300, any 1300, you add nitrous to it, the car will go faster, but it still has a limit. It won't reach 300 kilometers because the engine is still small. So adding, you're going to have to add a piece here. You're going to have to increase the height of the basket. You're going to have to take the coil out, the existing coil that's there, basically bringing the whole speaker down to cone, spider, and then you're going to have to make a coil. After you made a coil, you're going to have to reassemble everything. Like I said, the spiders on that subwoofer is decent. The tinsel wires are also good. The coil, you're going to have to remake a new one because you're making the coil longer now so that it can handle more power. But you've not demagnetized the magnet and remagnetized it to a stronger level. That then tells you your magnetic field is going to remain the same, but the power you're putting into it is basically still going to be the same. It won't, you will be able to put more power into it, but you're not going to be able to get more power out of it because you're still limited by your spiders and your surrounds. So if you want to increase that now, you'll maybe need to add, make looser spiders or add a different set of spiders, because the black ones, once they get soft and the suspension gets loose, they are quite, bouncy. Then you get the red ones, very difficult to make them bouncy. You run them in for a year, they still stiff. Then you get the blue ones. Well, it's a bit tricky to get the blue ones, but yeah, it all depends. Then you've got the issue of your surround. The surrounds need to be high enough. Then so you have to remove the cone, get a cone with a higher surround in order for you to benefit from all of that extra coil that you put in there. Or else it's basically going to be the same as this woofer with that size coil. The only difference is now the coil is going to be able to handle more power, but in order for the power to be transferred into actual benefit, you need to upgrade then that and that. Now you take all of that money into account, then you need to take into account what is the cost gonna be for a what do you call it? What's the cost gonna be for your engineers to do the engineering? What's the cost gonna be for dismantling of the speaker? When you take all of that into consideration, my bro, at the end of the day, with South Africa's rand dollar exchange market, it's cheaper for you to go online and buy an SPL audio sub from Italy, or you can buy a Pride sub from Russia. Not here, buy it from Russia. Even though we got people here, you importing it. That's how much cost it's gonna be, because then you think to yourself, man, I just spent, what's it, 6 grand? No, 4 grand for this 12-inch. But now I'm paying another, it's 4 grand, 4 grand. You're doing both of them. You paid 8 grand for your woofers, but now to redo them, you're gonna have to get new cones, which I can get now. You're gonna have to get new spiders, which I can also get, which I'm gonna be getting in. End of November, the cones. Oh, these are the dust caps that I'm getting in, and these are the 12-inch cones that I'm getting in. I did ask them for the plain ones, but they said that these ones here with these corners are a lot more, it's a lot more rigid and a lot more, they can handle a bit more abuse than the plain ones. I didn't really want these ones here because I was skeptical. I have one here from a woofer, and this thing is here too. The one on the joints, when you're opening them up, they tend to break. And it turns out the ones that I have is made out of foam, and this here is actually made out of rubber. So this is a little bit of a better quality than the one that I currently have. So I'm over the moon with that. So these, I'm gonna be getting them in. They're gonna be about, I'd say, between 400 and 500. The dust caps, I'm going to throw in the dust caps with. The dust caps, I am getting them at a very good price, so I'm going to add a dust cap with every cone that I sell. But like I said, that's coming in at the end of November. I'm also getting samples, 2 samples of the 15-inch that looks the same like that. That's also coming in. So I'll have 2 of the 15-inch. No, I don't do ICs, I don't do car amplifiers, radios and all of those things. The Bluetooth speaker boxes, all that, I don't do none of that stuff. Just subwoofers, preferably. So my guy, I would say the CBR, if you want your subs to get louder, it's most likely your amplifier settings is not right. Maybe the amplifier is not getting enough power, which I doubt so very much with the amplifiers of today. And last but not least, your box that you have is not designed for the music you're listening to. So yeah, it's a problem. But in order to make the speaker stronger, 10 out of 10 times I'm gonna tell you to rather just buy a stronger speaker, a bigger speaker. Walaikum salam, but how's it, wellness? Because the work that's gonna go into it is very time consuming, first of all, and secondly, there's a hell of a lot of, because now if you say nah, don't worry, go ahead, do it. Here's the problem. I have to strip it. That's part of the recoiling process. The coil I'm going to give you a price on. You have to charge the price for the coil. You're going to pay the price for the coil. Then I need to upgrade your spiders with the tinsel wires. You're going to be charged for the new. Well, the spiders we can use it. We put additional spiders onto it, so you're going to be charged for the additional spiders. The Agatrix, yes, that woofer is a bliksem. That's a very good woofer. Look, on the one is Tagatrix, and the one after that I think is the Rambo. That Rambo, my bro. Woo. Damn, I set in a MP200, a cut MP200 with 115. And I'm like, how you got 115? Normally when you cut, the guys put 2. He's like, nah, 2 is too much. I think 1 is enough. And Bra gave me a demo, and I'm telling you, I was overly impressed with how that won. Double XL, which one? Because there's so many double XLs now. Powerbase got double XL. I seen RA also got a double XL that came in now. Man, there's too many. I can't keep up with all the very well names and stuff. Oh, hell yes. I definitely choose the Rambo over the Trix. The problem is, do you have the amplifier power to move the Rambo? Because no point in buying a woofer that is of the top quality. Because basically, if you look at the cost of the Rambo, if you're buying 2 Rambos, but you don't have the quality of the cost of you know, like the amplifier and the battery power and all of that. The cost of the 2 Rambos, you can buy 2 Trix and an amplifier that will have the Trix do the job. But then you need somebody who's a mother in building a box for them, so that you can get the full enjoyment out of the woofers. Because that's most of the time, that's what the guys are. They fail there. They spend a lot of money on the woofers, but then they want to miser on the box, and then at the end of the day, the box is the one that basically puts them in the hole. Then the woofers are breaking because the box is not right. Thors are very good, bruh. Those, you know what?
Did you bring in the container, the cupboards?
Oh no. Because I was waiting for you to tell me where to put them.
I don't even know yet.
that amplifier is woo, hella strong, bruh. Yeah, you're gonna need some serious power. I think lithium. Look, I'm not a lithium guy. I'm not a fan of lithium. I know everybody's like, yeah, I don't think about lithium, and then they go lithium, and they're like, you know what? I was always against lithium, and then I was like, yeah, yo, man, I'm always look. Again, also for me personally, I'm of the thing that a single 10-inch is making me happy now. I'm not there where, you know, and the single 10-inch, when you're sitting in the car and you're in traffic, it does what it needs to do. Look, now with the 212s in, yeah, now the ears are saying hello. Nah, Dion, it's not really, it's more box. In sedan is all about the box, bruh. You need to get the box right and the positioning of the box. That is the biggest key when it comes to sedan. If you get a chance, Dion, and you can go onto YouTube, go look for um, the name Terry Brock. That man, I would say 10 years ago, was doing 158s in a sedan with 212s. And I think he went up to about a 60 with 212s in a sedan. It's just about the it's all about the box. And then he even shows you what the box look like inside, outside, alles bra. He shows you everything. So it's not a new thing. The problem is you just need to understand what you are doing, and you need to take that whole gedachte of after SPL I want to go base box. Take that mentality out of your brain completely. There's no base boxing your SPL car. It's an SPL car or it's a base box car. It's not both. You can SPL a base box car. You cannot base box an SPL car. Now, like I said, the thing with the sedans is that the guys are building the sedans as if it's hatches. No, it's because you need to understand something. When you're building a box specifically for SPL, it's built specifically for one frequency. It's built specifically for one frequency. So you need to get a sealed box, 10-inch. You get a 10-inch in a sealed box, right? Square, not slope, must be square. You put that in your boot, and then you need to have somebody who's got a sound meter. Then they put the meter on the window, and you do a frequency sweep. You put the box in the left corner, you do a frequency sweep, you get the number, you put the box in the right corner, frequency sweep, you do the box in the middle, in the front, in the back, you move the box around in the boot. Once you get the frequency of the vehicle, then you need to go build the box. Then you need to tune the port. Now the port, how you tune the ports is the shorter the port, the higher the frequency. The longer the port, the lower the frequency. You need to get the box built for your subs so that they are happy in that box. And then you need to tune the port. So you need to go back to the guy who's got the meter, take the port or take the meter and put it inside of the port, and then do a frequency. Now you don't have to, you're not banging it, you're just doing it enough for the meter to start moving. Get the frequency of the box with the port that you cut. Rather cut it long, make the ports longer, then you can start shaving it off. So you take off 5 mils and you'll see where how much frequency it's gone up. And then there you'll be able to calculate how much you'll need to get to the frequency of the car. Once you've got the box built with that frequency, you take the box, you put them in the car, and you can only use that box and that subs for the car in SPL. That's all that box and subs is in that car for. Nothing else. You're making done. Finish. When you finish with that, you can take the box out, you take the subs out, you can take that subs, put them in a different box that's made for music, because music has fluctuating frequencies. The song got 35 hertz, 22 hertz, 50 hertz, there's even 80 hertz in there. So that is musical. Then you can build that box to go do bass boxing. Guys do bass boxing with an SPL setup, but then they use rebase music where it's a test tone. There's music singing, but they put a test tone, so the frequency stays high all the time. It doesn't fluctuate, and that's depending on where you're going to go do sound comps. Some places allow it. Me, if I'm in a show and they do using that music, I go and I complain, because why am I using fluctuating? Why am I using normal music? Fine, it's boosted, but for you to use a test tone, obviously your car's built for that. It's gonna do a better number. So you have to build one box for your SPL and then use a different box for your daily or your musical. Using a SPL box for your music, you're gonna 9 out of 10 times this is where your subs are gonna end up. No, lubricant's not gonna make it come loose. You have to open it up. No problem, my guy. Yeah, there is videos on my profile where I did tuning on the amplifier. It all depends on your amplifier also. Joandre, audio gods, man. In all of my 8 years, 9 years that I'm busy with this, I've only repaired 4 of them. There was only 4 that I've replaced, that I've repaired. And when I was in Durban, the 6 years I worked in Durban on subs and stuff, I think there also there was only about 4 or 6 maybe, the Thor ones. The Thor ones, bruh, I don't know. The Manses, they're not breaking those woofers because I have not seen them being repaired, or they were going to other repair people. But as far as I know, I saw about 4, maybe 6 when I was in Durban, and here in Joburg, when I started working here in Joburg, I saw about 4 that I can remember. Meshach, man, this M tuning thing is a big as debate currently right now. Yes, they're very strong woofers. The biggest brand of woofers by me at the moment is the 815, and well, obviously the Pioneer SPL, but the 815, and then oh yeah, don't forget, oh, Marcus and Jeff. I went from busy stitching these things to talking about making subs stronger and SPL cars. Um, with the old school speakers, guys, you must just be careful with them because a lot of them have already been repaired, and even the ones that are original, you need to check the surrounds if they're not loose. You gotta check the spiders if they're not loose. Check the tinsels. And the biggest problem that Owens are having with the old subs is that the glue, the epoxy on the top plates, on the magnets, because of the age of the speaker, that epoxy has come loose and now it's locking the speakers. No, we can. I don't sell speakers. Viken 273. So yeah, it's almost always better to just go and buy a stronger sub than to try to upgrade it. Yes, I know the guy who he repaired the 6 for had it in the vehicle. He ran all 6 and he had about, so it's what, 2 4 6 8 10 12, yeah, he had about 2200 RMS per woofer in a set. He was feeding it 2200 RMS. My guy, building boxes is a story and a half, man. You know, like I keep telling the guys here that when you have to build boxes, the customers come to you and then they lie. No, the 612 was not the Uno. The 612s was a mini, and 4 was in a Ford Ranger. He used to swap the woofers. It used to be he uses 4 for the Ford Ranger, and then on a different day he doesn't use the Ford Ranger, then he puts in the 6, then he puts 6 into the mini, and a different day he'll put 4 into the Ranger. He used to chop and change with the ones like that. Boxes, hey man, the guys will come and ask for boxes. You build in the boxes, then they go into the lanes. No, not street low, Bucky. In Durban, I'm talking about Durban. And then when they build the boxes, go out, then they're not happy with it because now Manana come there with 2 8s and give them hiding, and they got 2 15s or 2 12s, whatever. And now you just sad. And the thing is with the competitions nowadays, why I won't build boxes for competitions, because guys don't want to listen. I can't build a box for you for competition when you never build a car yet. Understand? Because the thing is with competitions, it's not about the box, it's about the vehicle. If the car can't hold the pressure you're trying to generate with the box and the subs and the amps and the batteries and the cables and the alternators and what, the vehicle is not built to handle all of that. You're leaking dBs everywhere, out the boot, out the floor, out the dash, out the windows, the doors, everything. You're leaking out dBs. So now I build you the box, supposed to do a 160, you're doing a 145, and you're crying and like, this guy don't know what he's doing. Meanwhile, you did fuck all on the car, but you're expecting the most out of the equipment, which is where a lot of the competitors go wrong. Because you guys listen and you'll say, I want to go to the competition this weekend. My guy, the people there at a competition understand this. that you need to build a vehicle and make the vehicle strong. And a lot of people want to listen. When you say you need to make the car strong, and you're like, what do you mean? Like, you need to put sound deadening, soundproofing, sound dampening, whatever you want to call it. You need to make sure that the panels are solid so that the car doesn't flex. And then you need to know where to put the sound deadening, because certain vehicles like the flex. If you put sound deadening on in those vehicles, on those areas where the car needs to flex, then what happens? Your number stays down. So now you've got all the equipment that the other guys got, but your number is 5, 6, 7, 8 dBs away. And everybody understands the fact that when you have 5 dBs on somebody else, the amount of money it's going to cost you to get that 5, it's a lot. Back in the old day, the story was every dB over 155 is 10 grand. That's just the explanation they used to give us. Like, if you want to go higher than 155 and you want a 156, probably cost you 10 grand to get there. Now that 10 grand could be cable, could be batteries, could be sound deadening, could be whatever the case may be, but it's gonna cost you about 10 grand. That was back then when things was a little bit hectic. Now I don't think it's as bad, as hectic as that, because look, technology's moved a lot. The amount of batteries you need nowadays, the amplifiers that's made now doesn't need as much power as the amplifiers back in the day. Back in the day, you had like 6, 7 truck batteries for 3000 RMS. And nowadays, our ones who got 5000 RMS amplifiers, I mean the power base 30K, they got 2 batteries in the back, 2 CSBs or 3 CSBs in the back, and the amplifier's happy. It's all different now. You can't say, and every single vehicle is different also. No, lithium, I won't do lithium. I had lithium in the car and all of that, but here's my thing, Sharan, with the lithium. I know how I am when it comes to building my car. Over the years, I've not, the way I've built the vehicle was, I've built it messy because everybody was trying to be pretty, right? And when you get to the show, even though their vehicles aren't amazing, the car itself, look, you buy a nice car and you put sound into it, they just hide all of their shit better than I used to. So I know what my shit used to look like. And now also, I know how I'm busy building in it. And my bro, the way I'm doing stuff here, no. I'm the last one that you must trust with lithium, because I look at it and I'm going online and I watch what the Americans are doing and how well their vehicles are built, and I think to myself, bruh, they burning cars down. What's gonna happen with me? Nah, it's cool. I'll stay with my normal batteries. Yeah, you see, you more than exactly. You got 2 batteries. Back in the day, we couldn't even get 3000 RMS. We needed like 6 truck batteries to get 3000 RMS out of amplifiers, or 5000 RMS out of amplifiers. You understand? So, and then the amplifier used to cost unsemuren. So it was a bit of an issue. But as things are where we are now, things are a lot easier to get numbers out of things. So it's not as difficult anymore. But the problem is, you're not building the vehicle. First you build the car, then you go and buy cabling for the alternator if you don't have a big enough alternator. Because some of the cars, today's cars also, when they from the factory, they're coming out with 110, 120 amp alternator. Some got 140, 160s. So you're already up there, right? So proper big three there, you're sitting sweet, bruh. So it's all of those things that you put into place. And back in the day, Golfies had 70 amp alternators. Toyota Corolla got a 45 amp alternator. I was doing 147s back in the day with a 145 with a 147, 146, 412s, one. Well, the amplifier was a Star Sound 5500 watt monoblock, which was probably like 1500 RMS amplifier. And I was doing 146, 147s, bass boxing, average, over 1 minute, because that's how we used to run back then. Over 1 minute, 146, 147, with a 45 amp alternator and a single battery up front. In a sedan. Well, okay, fine. You know, we let's not talk sedan because it was a wall. So you kind of it rules out the sedan factor. For the sedan, to put the sedan into perspective, when I had 212s in the boot, the car used to do a 43, a 44. With that same setup, just now 2 subs in the boot. So I used to get 3 dBs more, 2 to 3 dBs more when I added 2 extra subs. Same amp, same power cable, same battery, same alternator. And back then I never did the big 3 on my 45 amp alternator. Nah, Sharan, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. All of the evidence that I've and believe me when I'm telling you guys, I've put equipment through shit. I mean, I've done the worst of the worst with equipment. How that Star Sound lasted that long, I don't know. Because where I had it earthed, it like after it blew, then it hit my dude. How you earthing there? That's not even solid enough for fuck all, right? So I don't know. Exactly. I always don't understand, bruh. Those class AB amplifiers. You have to suffer for fucking power, boss. Gee whiz, you don't know how we used to wish we had ESCOM. Now Owen's got easy availability to ESCOM's power. And yet you're complaining. You can't make 3500 RMS and not be at a 150 at least. Over 3000 RMS back in the day, the Owens were doing 52s, 53s. Or at least 9, you know. But then you go and have a look and you'll find, I never set the amp lacquer. Or you go and find, the car's leaking. There's a pocket here where it's leaking out from. Shit, man. It's the box is not right. My port is tuned wrong. All of those things comes at the end of the day. Yeah, but those Brazilian amps don't tell you. The one thing with the Brazilian amps that's kind of misleading is that it'll tell you 12.6 volts. It'll give you 8000 RMS at 12.6 volts. But then they don't tell you that 12.6 volts needs to be there, but you need 600 amps. So the voltage is 12. It'll give you that. But the amperage is 600, which means you need 6 CSBs for that amplifier, and they all have to read 12 volts, which is fine. That's a normal operating system to give you that amount of power. And then you wondering why you clamping at 1900 with your 1 battery in the front and your 1 CSB in the back. Yeah, no, you'll have to hotbox the car. You either get a whole group of Owens who's sliding a hubbly in the car, or you get a whole bunch of Owens who vape in the car, close the windows, the doors, everything, and then they got a hotbox. Yeah, that rope, my bro, that's a old school one, but it's a oldie, but it's definitely a goldie. Especially when your car starts losing um, that rigidity of the vehicle itself. Yeah, Jubes, I'm busy with them already. They built, I played them, they broke, I built them again, I'm playing them again. It's up and down, bruh. I'm busy. Yeah, the thing is also with that the I don't know what is that Taga. The thing, guys, you must also understand the cars get old and the metal starts losing its what they call it. There's a word for it. When the metal is no longer strong, the metal becomes weak. Nah, it's the same, guy. Because when you're recoiling, all you're doing is you're taking off the burn wire and you're replacing it with the same size, but you're putting more, you're putting new wire. So it's burnt wire replaced by new wire, and it'll play the same because you're not touching the spiders. So the suspension of the speaker still stays the same. So it's the same. If you then take the sub and put it back into the exact same box that it just broke in, and you never change your radio settings, you never change your amp settings, or even the box itself, the same thing's gonna happen. It's not the recoil that is bad, or the sub that because the sub was recoiled now it should. No, you put it into the same failed system. So obviously the answer is still gonna be the same. You're gonna fail again. On the amplifier sides, my guy, I don't know. Yeah, same thread. The car will drive the same, but if you don't do the alignment after you put the tires, it's gonna fuck up exactly the same spot where it fucked up. Now my gents, I'm gonna call it tonight for today. Tomorrow I'll probably be back to do the other one. It's stressful on the eyes, man. Because that hike is so very well small. Maybe I'll get me another one tomorrow. I'll just get me a bigger eye, and so I can put more wire into it, more string into it. But yeah, this is what we were doing today. We stitched tinsel wires onto the speaker, put new tinsel wires on there. Tomorrow we'll do the other one. Shaquille, those speakers, my bro, that all depends on budget, and anything and everything can sound cock if you don't know how to tune the amplifier. So that's all budget and knowledge on how to tune it so that it plays nice. You can make even the factory one sound nice. You amplify them and you put a IC on it, it'll sound nice. I'm in Boksburg North in the East Rand, my guy. Guys, my WhatsApp number is on the profile, and the live will be up on the YouTube. The link is in my bio as well. Yeah, I saw that new M.A.D. I don't know what to say, man. We have to progress with the times, I guess. We're moving forward. That's all that's gonna be available one of these days, so I'll wait until it becomes the same price as the ones are now. But I'm still a ferret guy. I don't like the Neos. I've got my reasons. But yeah, we'll be on tomorrow with the other one. I had to take the subs out, the wall out, because I forgot I got passengers. So I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but I'll do some videos of the 12s in the boot today, tomorrow, and I'll upload it on here. Until then, my Jimbos, flat, mistura.